NATO just said they may start striking Russia as a response to Russia constantly violating NATO airspace. And Russia's President Vladimir Putin says, "We're not looking for any trouble, but if you want to start a war, we're ready." Nobody can deny that since Russia has been fighting a full-scale war for 3 years, they are much more battle-hardened than any other NATO country, and their overall economy is much more militarily aligned. Russia produces its own steel, its own food, its own energy, so it's not like they could be blockaded from key resources by NATO if they ever did go to war. Remember, Russia has been fighting another country for 3 years, and that country is just as battle-hardened, which is Ukraine. For now, let's not even consider the troops and equipment that Russia lost just to Ukraine. And I'm just going to show you some stats between Russia and NATO without US help. When it comes to active military personnel, Russia has 1.32 million people, while NATO has 2.10. Now, like I said, the Russian troops are much more battle-hardened, but there are 800,000 more NATO troops, and they are nowhere near as depleted, exhausted, or just internally destroyed from the ravages of war like Russia is. Now, you're going to see a green dot here. I set this table up, and I put the green dot over which country or which alliance has more modern equipment. So when it comes to fighter jets, Russia has about 1,000, and NATO, without the US, has 2,000 fighter jets, and they are much more modern than anything Russia has right now. But something Russia does have a lot of is bombers. They have dozens of bombers, while NATO, without the US, only has a few because the US is the #1 bombing aircraft producer. But again, those bombers have to face these 2,000 NATO more modern fighter jets and, of course, air defense systems. NATO has much more modern and layered air defense